I'm going to walk you through this exercise step by step because we don't have the handout that I had sent, which gave you a diagram. So have a blank piece of paper in front of you. And before we do this, I'm going to just flip. I'm going to give you 2 examples of how you could do this on your paper. You could do it with you in the middle and little bubbles around it, or you could do a little table. The name of the person, the message that they're giving you, whether it's positive or negative, and a power rating. Okay, I'll put this up there in a little bit, but we're going to walk you through this. So I just want to give you, if you're a right brain or left brain type of person, you have different choices in how you can approach this exercise. So let's go back. Okay, first step. I want you to write down the names of 5 to 10 people. Okay, we might not get through all these people, but I want you to at least write down the names of the people in your life who influence you. They could be people who have already passed away, right? Our parents have told us things when we were little that still are voices, remain voices in our lives. Spouses that have passed away still have an influence on us. I spoke recently, a couple weeks ago, and a lady came up to me after giving this exact presentation, and she said, I can't enjoy my life. I said, why? She said, because my husband died a few years ago, and I just think that he would be very angry with me if I would enjoy my life. And I don't think that's an uncommon thing. People feel guilty about moving on with their lives after someone has passed away. So we talked about it, and she began to realize that she could give herself permission, that probably her husband, who's in the spirit world looking down on her, would want her to be happy. Just realizing that gave her new freedom. So it could be people who had passed away. Could be memories, very strong memories or incidents that hold power over you. Were you ever sexually abused? Did someone ever physically abuse you? Have tragedies happened in your life that continue to be a voice telling you a certain message over and over that holds you back in your life? What about the media? Is there a magazine that you read a lot that makes you feel like you're not good enough? That's another one. Okay, so take a couple minutes here and write down your list, 5 to 10 people or influences that have power over you. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. Now, if you can't get through all 5 to 10 people, just choose a couple. Choose the ones where you want to see the greatest change in your relationship. I want you to write down the main message that you get from this person, whether they're saying it or not saying it. Because sometimes people are saying something without saying it. Do you know what I mean? They have a hidden agenda or a hidden message, or they might be saying one thing, but you might be interpreting it a certain way. What is the main message that you get from that relationship? Let's talk about it. Let me give you an example. If it's your spouse, does your spouse tell you in subtle ways that you're not good enough? Or that you don't look nice enough? Maybe giving you a compliment, but sort of, maybe not truly being true about it. That's a possibility. Maybe your spouse is very supportive and loving. You could put that up there. What about brothers, sisters, mom, dad? But what is that main message? So a couple ones that I put there. You can do it. Someone who stands behind you and says, you can do it, and you feel that positive energy from them. Or, hey, you're never going to amount to anything. So write down the key message that you experience from that person. Okay, take a couple minutes to do that. Please take time on this exercise, because if you do, you're really going to gain a lot. Okay, now I want you to go and I want you to rate each of these people as either a positive influence on you, a negative influence on you, or a mixed influence on you. Maybe it's both positive and negative. This should take you just a moment. And remember, this is an exercise we're just beginning. You can continue this at home. I'm just going to give you a taste of it so that you can do this on your own, and you'll have a tool to take with you. This is a power rating, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least amount of power, 10 being the greatest amount of power. How much power or influence does this person have over you? Be honest about this, because this is a very telling thing. What's the impact on you of the message that you're hearing and the interactions that you have? So you might have someone who's very negative, but you don't really listen to them. Okay, so it's very little influence. You might have someone who's very negative, and you're around them so much that they drain you. That's a 10. Okay, so just go ahead and rate each one of them. Usually by putting these things on paper, you gain a lot of insight. And if you really take the time to be really honest and think through it. I know it's only a short period of time to start an exercise like this, but you can gain a lot of insight by putting a diagram of your relationships on paper. This is the step of observation in harnessing the power of your relationships. The more aware you are of the voices of influence in your life, the more you can see opportunities to change those dynamics.